What's up, everybody? This is Nate, and welcome to the Nate Echoes podcast. This is episode 33, Consistent Consistency. I want you to do me a favor. Maybe if you're driving, but do this later in the day after you pull over or something. I want you to pull out your phone, grab your phone, and I want you to close your eyes. All right? Once you close your eyes, I want you to open your messaging app. So go ahead and click that right now. Go ahead and open your messaging app. Go to the last person, the most recent person that you have sent a text message to, and click on that, open that conversation, and type "this is a test" and send it. Are you ready? Go. This is a test. Open that app, most recent person, hit send. How'd you do? I feel like a lot of us, maybe some of us sent it to the second or third most recent person that we've texted. Maybe some of us had a misspell in there. Maybe some of us forgot to hit send. And then by the time that you open your eyes, like you were still pressing just off that button. But my guess is that a lot of you who do this, my guess is a lot of you actually did this. My guess is a lot of you actually succeeded in this. And hopefully you text the right person and not somebody that's going to get you fired, right? But this is a test, and that's what this podcast is all about today. Consistent consistency. You see, consistency is a drug that amplifies what it's applied to. Consistency is a simple yet often misunderstood concept that holds the power of transformation for our lives. That whatever we apply it to, whether it be a career goal or maybe it's a relationship goal or maintaining a healthy lifestyle, meaningful relationships, consistency is the key to success. And why does consistency matter? It's because it is ultimately a drug that that amplifies what it's applied to. You see, consistency doesn't guarantee success. A lot of people have said versions of this, consistency guarantees success. Consistency doesn't guarantee success any more than any other thing. What makes consistency really interesting, you can't be successful without consistency. Just because you have it doesn't mean you're going to be successful. But what it does mean is if you are successful, you definitely have consistency. You see, the nature of consistency comes up all the time in our life, and it's not about being the best. It's about being dedicated to your efforts to what you believe will make your dreams come true. Well, the thing that you believe, this is going to make the most impact. This is what's going to take it to the next level. That is what consistency is. It's dedicating yourself to that thing, right? And we can be consistent in anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be to a goal that we've thought out or a goal that we want to achieve. Just like we talked about with our phones, you can be consistent in that. The problem with being consistent in our phones is it's a currency that everybody's familiar with. Most of the people in the world are familiar with it and are consistent with picking up their phone 73 times in an hour, right? Most of us are familiar with some of these things, and we become consistent at something that's already overvalued. So today I'm going to talk about three things that consistency can do. Three things that help us achieve success when we become consistent. Because chances are, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say that. Not chances are, you are consistent at something. Maybe you're consistently inconsistent, right? Maybe you haven't thought about the things that you are consistent about. So this is going to help us in this podcast. All I want to do is go over these three areas that consistency can help us in, right? Three areas that consistency can help us in. And whether it's your job, it's your family, it's your parenting, maybe it's learning a new language, maybe it's pickleball. I don't know what you want to be consistent with, but whenever if there's a goal that you want to achieve in an area of your life, here are some reasons that you should add consistency in order to make that goal happen, to be successful in that goal, to add the drug of consistency. First of all, consistency breeds discipline. Consistency and discipline, they go hand in hand, right? It's hard to have one without the other. If you're disciplined, you're consistent at the thing. You commit to doing something constantly. You are training. You are going back and forth. Your body is starting to have that muscle memory when you're consistent about it. I mean, just think about using your phone again. How many of you use your phone as an alarm clock and you can roll over, hit snooze, go back to sleep, it goes off in 5 minutes, roll over and turn your alarm off without ever even really waking up? It's because your phone's in the same place consistently. It's because the buttons that they have are in the same place consistently, right? These are things that because of the discipline that we've had in our life, where we put our phone in the same place, we sleep on the same side of the bed, we have the lights at the same stage, right? Because of these consistent things, our bodies adapt to it, and we're able to roll over and turn our phone off without even thinking about it. It's why we can get home from work without even thinking about it. You finally pull into the driveway and you're like, I don't even remember anything about the drive, right? This idea of consistency and this discipline that helps you stay focused when your goals, even when external distractions and temptations abound. It's about the commitment to your goals that sets you apart from those the sporadically chaotic dreams that kind of enter our head. When we become consistent about something, it builds that momentum. It builds that discipline. That leads us to the second one: is consistency builds momentum. I remember when Snapchat first came out, and they introduced this idea of streaks, where you would get a little fire emoji next to somebody's name whenever you would text them or whenever you would send them, snap them back and forth for a certain number of days. I think it starts at 3, or at least it started at 3. You get this little fire emoji, and then if you start running out within a 24-hour period, there's a little hourglass that pops up. It's like, hey, don't forget, you're going to lose your streak if you don't text this person. Well, for 20 days or something like that, it really doesn't make a difference. It's like, if I text somebody, if I message somebody, if I snap somebody, it's not a big deal. But once you get to a month, oh my goodness, that anxiety starts to build, because that momentum, you want to keep that streak going. And if you talk with anybody who has a streak going on Snapchat, go ahead and comment. I just want to see. Go ahead and comment the longest streak that you have with somebody or have ever had with somebody on Snapchat. It's crazy. But it's this idea that it builds this momentum, and now any day that you don't do it, you're worried. Your anxiety level rises because that momentum is building up. It's what you do. Similarly, when we commit to being consistent and work towards a goal in whatever it is, again, your relationships, parenting, your job, whatever it is, when we are committed to that thing, that momentum over time continues to build. It's kind of what we do, waking up and reading 10 pages of a book, waking up and choosing a healthy option of what to eat, going to the gym, working out your muscles, whatever it is. That consistency builds momentum. And maybe it's something that's internal, that's that anxiety that's building within you, or maybe it's something that's external where someone says, hey, I haven't seen you at the gym in a while. This momentum continues to build like a snowball rolling down the hill. It starts out small, but eventually it continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger, building momentum that kind of starts to carry itself. It puts you in a habit of discipline to move in the direction that you want. Again, if you think about consistency, we can be consistent at the wrong things. But if we start to think about consistency as, I'm going to focus my efforts on these things that are going to help me achieve the goal. Again, we're consistent on a lot of things that don't matter or that we've never thought about the goal, but because we've been consistent, we can now do it with ease. So the third thing, consistency keeps setbacks in perspective. I know nobody in life who has gone free and escaped setbacks. Maybe it's an injury or a loss. Maybe it's something that is just demotivating, and the weather or whatever. There's something that happens in our life that kind of sets us back from what we want to achieve. That we have a goal in place and we're kind of moving towards it. And then we get hit with an injury. We get hit with a loss. We get hit with sickness or something that kind of sets us back from what we thought our goal would be. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm at my worst whenever those setbacks happen. When I'm angry, when I'm frustrated, whenever things aren't going the way that I thought they were, especially after I thought they were going the way. Everything's been going smooth sailing, and I've been seeing the goals, and I've been marking off those little check marks of, okay, these are all steps to get to the goal that I want to get to, and then boom, something happens, something that's out of my control. Well, consistency helps keep those setbacks in perspective, okay? But whenever we have a setback, we need to have a system in place in order to continue moving towards the goal. Now that the goal doesn't change, but our system that we've put in, our consistency of waking up and going to the gym, of reading our Bible, of praying, of having 5 minutes of conversation without any devices with your spouse, right? Of taking an intentional car ride and leaving your phone at home. Whatever the thing is that eliminates distractions that you can be consistent with, that you believe is going to help you achieve your goal, that's what keeps setbacks in perspective. Because now when you're at your worst, you have something that you have built momentum towards to achieve your goals. And now, instead of focusing on the big goal, instead of focusing on the long-term dream, something that with a setback feels completely out of place or out of reach, you can say, okay, all I need to do, I don't need to worry about this. I need to worry about this. These little systems that I've set in place to be consistent in my life. You see, during these tough seasons, that consistency truly shines. And by showing up and pushing through, whether you're motivated to do it or not, just knowing that you need to do it, that consistency flexes the discipline of your life that is going to continue to help move you to your goal. For instance, let's just say your goal is to be a better free throw shooter. And you say, okay, I'm going to shoot 50 free throws a day. And throughout the course for an entire year, and throughout the course of that year, there's, once 1 week every month, 7 days within a month that you are sick, that you didn't plan correctly, that you don't feel like it, that your arms hurt, whatever. So there's ends up being 12 weeks that you don't shoot those free throws. Well, if you are consistent at it and you make that a discipline in your life, you are going to be able to push through those setbacks and you are going to shoot those extra 12 weeks of free throws. See, consistency is a system we put in our life to achieve our goals. And we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fail to the level of our systems. And that's what consistency does. Putting those systems in, that consistency of the systems that allow us to deal with setbacks. They allow us to keep that in perspective, because it's not the biggest idea that we're not achieving this goal. We have to achieve these steps in order to achieve this goal. So as we wrap up, I want to hear what things that you've been consistent in. Maybe some of the things that you've been consistent in, you've recognized later, this isn't helping you achieve your goal. So comment down below, hit me up, send me an email, share with me some of the things that you've been consistent in, whether for the good or for the bad, and how they've helped you achieve your goals. Galatians 6:9 says this: perseverance in doing good. Let us not become weary of doing good, right? This idea that doing good is a good thing, but it's also something that we will be tired of. Sometimes doing good can be tiring. I mean, we've all been there. But we've got to persevere. This verse reminds us to keep going and to not give up. Be consistent in those things. And the things that we are consistent in are the things that get amplified. It's that drug. And so I hope today, you make today great. You choose joy. You get out there and you start assessing, what are the things that I'm consistent in? What are the things that I should be consistent in that are going to help me achieve the goals and the dreams I have in my spiritual life, in my walk, in my exercise routine, in my relationships? What are those things that are going to help me achieve my goals? And be consistent. Hey, I hope you make today great. Do the best you can and be consistent in what you feel will move the ball forward.